Not sure. I think we're live. Yes, we are. Hello, I'm Carol Tuttle. And hey, decided to come on here and have you celebrate my birthday with me. I want to give a shout out to my mother who passed away 5 years ago this next year. That always made my birthday special. And she knew the fact that I had a unique scenario with the fact that I was the day after Christmas. And here's a little fun tidbit story about me. When I was 12, it kind of dawned on me that maybe she named me Carol because I was born the day after Christmas in honor of Christmas Carol. So I asked her, I said, "Did you name me Carol because I was born the day after Christmas?" She said, "Oh, I never thought of that." So apparently not. I've realized that if you were born in the 50s, there's a good chance your name is Carol, Barbara, Susan, Nancy, Kathy, or Elaine. So, all names that have pretty much been retired. I'm on here to do two things. I want to gift you with 3 items that I absolutely love that have changed my life dramatically. And I also want to share, now that I'm in my 60s and I've even passed the midpoint of my 60s, that I'm heading towards 70, what I'm doing different and what I wish I had known, or at least had the savviness and the tenacity to employ in my life, that it would have changed dramatically a lot of things I've had to heal in my life. It's like, you learn as pain is a great teacher, and yet it doesn't need to be the medium to learn. We can use inspiration, information, and inspiration added by motivation. That's a really great formula. Information, there's so much of it available today. You can Google and learn from the best of the best at no cost. Inspiration, you take all this in. Well, what is your inspired to do? Your inspired follow-up. And then motivation to do it. In fact, I pray for those 3 things if you feel stuck. Thank you for wishing me happy birthday. Information, please lead me to the information that it is the most timely and supportive to my well-being, spiritual well-being, mental well-being, emotional well-being, physical well-being. Pick one of the 4. One of those 4. Don't try and hit all 4. And then ask to be inspired to know what to pay attention to that really rings true for you, that resonates with you, to then have the motivation. Please help me to know what is correct for me to now incorporate. What am I inspired to do differently? And then please bless me with the motivation to follow through and do it. That's probably the best one right there. We've got, go ahead and jump in and say hello. Something John did for me that I'd love to hear from you as well. I find it fascinating. In fact, ask your significant other if that is in your life. If not, ask a child. Or John texted each of our kids and said, "Send me a word that represents grandma to you," and ask each of your children. He's been putting them on this big poster that he made that is my name, Happy Birthday Carol, and then he's got all these words all over it that he's received through text. He's been reading me the texts as they come in. I'm going to sit down and read his text feed at some point today and just really take that in. And I was very interested to see what my grandchildren were going to say. And it's been quite lovely to read those comments. That's a fun thing for you to do when it's your birthday, to really celebrate yourself. Invite someone that you would like that as a gift. You would love to receive that. And I'd love to hear, if you had to pick one word for me, what would that word be? So I'm giving away 3 things today, and then I'm going to tell you about what I would choose to do differently with information, inspiration, and motivation in the decade of my 40s, the decade of my 50s, and now that I'm in my 60s, what I've learned and applied and I'm doing now because of those 40s and 50s mishits. So I'm going to give away, we've got the weight loss cure coming up, and that starts January 8th. We are doing this as a group supported healing online course. It's all online. It's a online course that I've authored and I've created to be very easy to move through. It's It's got a lot of great resources. It hits all angles of your spiritual, mental, emotional. I'm even bringing in 28 days of movement, 28 days of 5-minute videos that I produced that are now offered in, that will be when we start this on January 8th. Go to weightlosscure.com go to caroltuttle.com or healwithcarol.com/weight loss. Now I'm going to give away an I Am Fit oil. All my oils were crafted with my guidance with a master aromatherapist, herbologist, very high level formulator, and she worked very, very closely with me with the benefits I wanted to people to receive on both spiritual, emotional, and mental influences. And this one actually has a physical one. You can actually, this one can be, you can put a couple drops on your tongue and it will cut those cravings. I'm going to give one lucky winner, and we will give 24 hours. Keep this open. All you've got to do is jump on and make a comment, maybe share this in your space, let others know about the wonderful offerings that I have here that I put out in the world. I Am Fit. This is a lovely oil. My oils are very, they're premium oils. They're some of the best on the market. I'm not using any filler oils or cutting oils to help them go further. They're very pure. A little bit goes a long way. I'm also giving away one of my favorite products. I love all my stuff, but this especially, my creation journal. I'm going to spend some time this week starting to write in my journal to prep for 2024. I haven't done that yet. I know my word. I'm going to open my journal to the space where that will start. I'll fill this in for 2024. I'll come back on later in the week and I'll share my word. It's very aligned with the energy of 2, 2, and 4. If you've not yet watched those videos, I'm sure my support team will throw a link up. What does the numerology and energy of 2024 have for us? How can we prepare for that? How can we be the greatest beneficiaries of the energetic setup, the mood, the energetic influence? My word will actually be very aligned with that. And I'll just tell you briefly that it's a lot of inward energy, a lot of energy moving inward into our feelings and our thoughts. How do we really feel about our life? What do we really think about it? And if they're cluttered, if you've got a cluttered mind or a cluttered emotional energy, it's going to be showing itself. You're going to have an overly noisy, hectic thought process, thinking about a lot of things you don't need to, worrying about a lot of things you don't need to, and a lot of emotional stuff coming up that's saying, please cleanse this area. Please do a cleaning, a spring cleaning. Time to clean up the emotional aspect of who we are so that peace can abide in these inner states of our being. And that is really what I'm good at my healing center with the work we do there. So sign up, start the year with the Weight Loss Cure. And even if you don't have issues with weight, if you want to improve your dietary choices, it'll help you with that. I've had a couple of people ask me in the last couple of weeks, so I don't really need to lose weight, but I really would like to improve my diet. It will definitely help with that as well, to help attract to you and create an appetite for really wholesome, healthy, real food. So, and then the third item I want to give away is my book, Mastering Affluence. This is written in 6 sections. There's sections for each of the inner quality of self and the spiritual, mental, and emotional, how to create affluence in those 3 areas of our inner self, and then how to create affluence in our physical body, how to create affluence with our relationships, and affluence with money. And it'd be a really good partner read when doing the weight loss cure to read How to Create Physical Affluence. It's very good. So that's what I got. If you want to enter that and let somebody else know that would like to be playing with us in this birthday giveaway, birthday gifting. So what would I do different now than just to kind of set up the story? 10 years ago, I realized I thought I was dealing with a short-term issue with a lot of pain in my feet. I had plantar fascia, but it had then spread to my lower legs, my back, I remember not even being able to sit for long periods of time. We took a trip that year in 2014 to Iceland, and it was the most painful journey of my life. Sitting in the airplane, I actually spent a lot of days I really got to return to Iceland because I saw a lot of a hotel room because I was in such severe pain, chronic pain. And I had never dealt with physical. I dealt with a lot of emotional stuff in my I got the emotional healing down. I have dealt with tremendous amount of emotional healing, mental health has been a big player for me. My spirituality has been something I had to create my own spiritual orientation. My parents didn't hand me their particular dogma or their doctrinal interpretation of anything. They weren't religious people. So really I was able to create my own spiritual connection with God, which was really a lifesaver for me, very much so. So physical pain at a chronic level, I understand severe chronic pain. There was a year, probably about 2017, 18, maybe 19, I don't know, it's a blur. I remember I did a lot of filming in severe pain, and I'd have to just, suck it up, throw on my professional persona, and get through it. You would never have known. You can tell by looking at photos of me even 10 years ago when I do those then and now with my healthier version of me. You can tell there's something was going on. I look very distressed. It was really tough. And I remember getting on my knees and just saying, God, I can't, because psychologically I understand the deal of how pain just really finally just chips away at your psyche and your psychology, and your emotion. It's very hard to keep rallying yourself, that everything you do in life is now through the filter of how will I feel if I do that. Is it going to make my pain worse? Is it going to get better? What's going to happen? It became my life. It's like I was living my life through this experience of pain. And I remember kneeling and saying, God, I can't do both anymore. And I'm willing to let this go, my professional activities. I'm willing to, if this is life, my path in life, my lesson, I'll do it. And I'll learn peace amidst the pain. I'll learn to be just at ease. I'll learn to be allowing and surrender. And I'd already done a lot of that. But then, or I said, or if I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, I promise to keep going. I'll make choices to maintain my health. I'll really rally, and I'll do my part. I will do whatever it takes. And I just basically had to, and it wasn't like this ultimatum. It's just like, just bless me with it, whatever. It's just difficult to keep going, doing both. Well, within the year, some magical things showed up for me that were perfect for me, and resources that I was meant to utilize and invest in that helped me get well. It did not turn the corner quickly. It took me it's probably about, if we're in 2018, 2019, I said that prayer and things took a shift. And one of the biggest lessons I had to learn was the healing was inside of me. That my body was the doctor, and I speak of this in my book, Mastering Affluence, and that it would, if once I started to really learn to listen to it and care for it properly, it would guide me, and we would attract that which would be the most supportive for me in my journey of getting well. And I'm there. It's a miracle with God's help, with a lot of answers to prayers, a lot of days of it didn't turn around right away, but I knew if I kept believing, I kept my faith, I kept focusing on a pain-free life, a life of vitality, a life of mobility, and full and authentic health, I would be able to create that. God would help me create that, and I'd be a receiver of that. So I did it. So what would I do different now in my 40s? Number one thing, if I was in my 40s or creeping up to them, diet. Start cleaning up your diet. Lazy diets filled with too many convenient foods, processed foods. If you are not spending time to clean, chop, and prepare your food, if you're snacking on anything that comes in a package on a daily basis, you're setting yourself up for potential. You will deal with inflammation. Inflammation is the baseline of every disease. Inflammatory systems are that particular biological scenario is just perfect for disease and illness, for issues to start creeping in. I'd start cleaning up my diet, and I wouldn't try and overhaul it all at once. And that's where the weight loss cure is going to help you. It's going to help you really get rid of this mishap eating, this kind of accidental eating. I believe in today's world, most people know better. Most people know better. Why don't we have the discipline, the willpower, the desire? Because we know enough about the cause and effect that you'll typically eat, if you're saying to yourself, oh, I probably shouldn't have eaten that. I probably shouldn't have had that or that much of that. Okay, so if that's the conversation, or you have that phrase and it's happening too often, or you feel a level of guilt because it's not for your highest good or your body's, I can help you with that. That's where the weight loss cure is going to definitely help. In fact, we don't even have to think about the weight or the scale. Let's just get healthier with our choices. But I would definitely start dialing in on my diet and eat a more whole food, plant-based diet. Watch that show on Netflix about the blue zone. Most of the people that are living it is one of the 9 things that he teaches that are the common denominators in these areas where people live in a very healthy state into their 90s and even into their hundreds. They have very minimal meat. What they do eat is very local, grass-fed, clean. And they're eating real food, whole food. So diet would be the number one thing I would do. And then somewhere in there, I'd start throwing in fitness. You will lose strength. You that are in your 60s, and let me know what's helping you here. And remember, we're doing a giveaway, so you got to comment and hit that emoji button because it helps us get out on the feeds of people that follow me. I get fitness going as well. I have a reminder in my phone every day that comes up. In fact, I'll show it to you. It says right here, well, that says chakra healing. Now it's just healing. I'll change that to weight loss cure, but every day these come up. 30 push-ups and healing. Healing work from go into my healing center and do something of a healing setup every day, and 30 push-ups. And the reason I do the push-ups is, especially for women, we use a lot of arm strength and muscle strength. And I am determined not to let that happen. It's like upper body strength is really important. So I'd start some weight training and resistance training in my 40s too, and get to the point. See, what you want to do is, once you establish that in your 40s, it's not just something you come in and out of. You want to enter your 50s with that being a lifestyle. Okay? That should be a lifestyle now. That should just be something you do without thinking about it. I mean, I don't have to every night make the decision, am I going to work out tomorrow? No, I make the decision, what am I going to do? But I do that the first of the week. I plan the whole week of what I'm doing for fitness. And I include cardio, I include strength training, and I include stretching, yoga. Those are the 3 boxes I want to tick every week, and I do. So I start that going as well, some in that decade of my 40s. My 50s, I'm a big believer that every woman should get their hormones checked by someone that is a specialist with bioidentical hormones. There's a little different protocol and application they do in the testing. They can identify what's off for you, but your hormones are changing a lot, and that does affect your body shape and size and how your body's retaining water and any kind of inflammation you might have. So I know if you were to, they're all over the country. They're not difficult to find anymore. It's a common practice. Most of these people have a little more functional medicine background or holistic training. Definitely look into that, because you want to dial into what your body needs and not just take some over the, kind of over the counter, or just don't just go by some website or Reddit forum, because you need to know your biology and your hormone markers and kind of the map of that. I've done this for 7-8 years now, so that's been a big player, and I moved through menopause like a star. No night sweats. I think my diet was helpful because of that. I missed the 40s. I wasn't making the changes I ended up making in my 50s decade. I was a decade late on that one, see, and I paid a price. But I do think it made a difference once I got onto that. And so now you want to really keep that fitness level. If you didn't do the fitness thing yet, now's the time, because one of the longevity tricks is, as your body's aging, which it ages every day, you want to, one of the books I love is called Lifespan, Why We Age and Why We Don't Have to. I love that book. I learned so much by reading that book. And one of the things he teaches, the author, who is a specialist, all he does is longevity science research, is that we've got to trick our bodies by doing things that make it think it's younger than it is. Challenges. It'd be a good idea to take up something like a new sport in your 50s. Something that really challenges you. Maybe you got to run a 5K, a 10K. Maybe you're I got to go for the half marathon, the marathon. I started running marathons out of nowhere. I actually started in my 40s and had my run with that. But then in my 50s, what I ended up doing was quite a few triathlons, the sprint distance. And I've done, almost probably 50 of them to date. And I think I'll do a few this year. But the trick is that you start to show yourself the kind of speech you start giving yourself. So the other thing I would do is clean up the ageism talk that's starting to happen. It's because I'm getting old. Oh, well, it's because I'm this age. You want to hit that in your 50s. You want to really just step in there and clean that up. And we will be doing that course this year. If you don't want to wait for it to be in the group supported experience, my Empowered Aging online course, there is nothing like it on the planet. I don't know one that really looks at all the ageism, psychological stuff we do to ourselves, and emotional stuff that is playing out for us that kind of culturally has been imprinted in our psyche to say, this is what you should be thinking, doing, acting, looking like as you age. And this is how you should be talking to yourself. And that's not the case. I can still do it. It's really interesting to me because I'll be working out in a class. I go to a gym here in Hawaii that organized fitness classes that I'm always the oldest one there, no question. Most of the gals there are probably 30 and younger, 35 and younger, and I won't be able to do some of the things as long. And I'll tell myself, oh, that's because I'm 66. I'm like, oh, don't ever make that the reason. Even though there's, that the thing is, even though, of course, there's some real legitimacy in that, it's not what I want to be saying to myself. It's like, oh, they're really strong. I'll have to keep working on that. That'd be a much better thought than, oh, well, it's because if they knew, So I got some work to do on that one still. I'm still working on it. So I would definitely make sure the fitness thing is going in my 50s, and I'd clean up the psychological and emotional aging experience and start to really reframe and change your brain wiring around that. Really change your neurology and your emotional response to things, so that you're never using age as a quick conclusion or sort of a scapegoat in a way. It's really important. That'll age you faster than anything, is what's going on in your inner world. That's huge. My 60s, you got to keep on going with it all. I supplement. I've never really talked about the things I do to supplement because I work very specifically with a functional medicine doctor that is very good at kinesiology. I've worked with him for several decades now, and we energetically test. We test through muscle testing what my body needs. But definitely you should be looking at brain health for your 60s. You really want to keep your brain sharp, and that's what I'm doing. I have a subscription to an app called Elevate that gives me daily mental health challenges to keep my brain sharp, my thinking sharp, and omega-6 supplementation. Google that. I'm not an expert. I don't want to recommend supplements necessarily. There's some general ones that across the board, anybody that would, most of your longevity specialists will say, like Dr. Amen, Dave Asprey's really big in this space, Dr. Huberman. They're going to recommend a really solid daily vitamin and omega-3 or omega-6, depending on the blends you get, because you need certain supplementation for brain health. And your brain has got a lot of fat in it. But the game I play that prompts me every day is this Elevate. It's got spelling, thinking, retention, math, things that just keep you computing, using your brain, and working on the cognitive behavior. So there you go. Does anybody have any questions? We're giving away these great products. The I Am Fit oil. We'll keep it open for 24 hours. The Creation Journal. I'll be back later this week to share my word of the year for 2024. And then a copy of my book, Mastering Affluence. But throw up a question if you have it, and we'll keep following the thread to see if there's any way we can help you. And please join me in the Healing Center. Your best return of investment is to buy the annual membership. I have some great group plans. I'm going to ask Colleen's on here if you could add the lineup for our group plans. If my memory serves me well, which I'm talking about memory. We're starting with the weight loss cure. Then we're going to do glow up, self-image transformation. Every woman needs to do that, because there's not one woman that's been born and raised in this modern day era that doesn't have self-shaming practices about their body and appearance. How sad is that? And let's all get rid of that finally. Let's clean that up. Let's wrap that up for our family, our posterity, so it's done. That doesn't need to be the case anymore. Then we're doing the money cure. Then we're going to do the, I think we're doing the disease and, no, we're doing the aging. What are we doing after that? Is it the aging? I think it's the empowered aging. And then we're doing the life purpose. Yeah, that's it. Doing the aging. So we're doing weight loss. And weight loss could be called the Get Healthy Cure. Let's get healthy cure. Then I'll go over them again. Weight loss cure, let's get healthy cure. Glow up, self-image transformation. 30-day money cure. The empowered aging, and the life purpose. Boom. And I'd love for you to participate in all those. I promise you, I guarantee if you do this work and you go through this year with me and even just do these, you will have a dramatic shift, 100%. Everything's set up to help you in 2024 create that shift. So just go to caroltuttle.com/annual if you're interested in that one. Thank you for listening, and thank you for so many birthday wishes. Wow. Thank you so much. They've just so many comments wishing me a happy birthday. God bless you. Thank you. I'll talk to you later this week.